Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here. We are going to talk all things BookCon. The convention includes panels, author signings, vendors, publishers. There were quiet rooms, there were meetups. It was a moment, an event, a con about books that we have to get into. So let's start from the top. I was lucky enough to go to BookCon both days. Lucky in quotation marks. It was a blast. I'm not going to knock the experience. There were things that could be improved about it. There were things that I loved about it. But my favorite part was meeting bookish friends in real life. And the IRL component of a BookCon was something that I haven't really experienced. I experienced it a little bit at Comic-Con, but to be able to do that in a bigger space, really centered around books, was very exciting. I am going to share all of the things that I got with you. Let's get into it. My day started out with crowds. That is the theme of the weekend. There are crowds, there are lines to get in, there are lines to get an arc if that's what you're looking for. There are lines to go to an author signing. There are lines to get into panels. There are lines. This is a convention. Conventions have lines. I'm used to this. I expected this. I was mentally and energetically prepared for this. So it wasn't a surprise, but obviously it's time consuming. So the first time-consuming line that I dedicated my mental energy to stand on was the Hachette arc line that dropped on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. The prize at the end of the line was Nisha J. Tooley's Too Cold for Comfort. This comes out on November 10th. This looks like not that Not Safe for Work was a series, but it looks like it's in the same realm of a romance that is centered on a season. Not Safe for Work came out in May. The Arctic heats up when a photographer who rarely holds anything back is forced to share a private wing with a grumpy lodge owner who holds everything in. Not Safe for Work was like such a fun romance that I really enjoyed. Nisha J. Tooley is a South Asian author who's really known for her fantasy. I've not yet read her fantasy. I know I read and love her romance books, and I knew this one was an arc up for grabs, so I grabbed it. Not minimizing, I did not have to fight to the death. Hachette arc lines were very civil, very organized, very demure. From what I remember, this is the only arc that I got this weekend. I wasn't knocking elbows for art, and my skin was not in that game. I was more about like getting books that either I wouldn't be able to get. Usually my top three of like justifications for purchasing a book are if it is by an indie author or independently published, if it is a signed copy, or if it is a copy I'm going to get signed, if it's like a limited edition that I can't get anywhere else. So those were mainly the justifications I went with, but my next purchase will tell you that I didn't listen to my own rules. I purchased This Monster of Mine, also from Hachette, by Shalini Abbasakira. This is a book that is by a Canadian South Asian author. She knows the taste of hunger. He'll stoke her hunger for it. It is a dazzling ancient Rome-inspired romantasy, a bloodbath of manipulation, deception, and forbidden love. It's been on my radar for a long time. The arc of the second book in the series came out while I was there. People got it, but I haven't read the first one, so I didn't go for it. But I wanted to buy the first one, so I got this at Hachette. The only book that I brought on Saturday, Reasons We Break by Jasmine Cordeo. This is a YA, I like to say a YA thriller, but there's so many layers to this that I feel like I can call it like a YA lit fic. Is that a thing? A book that I read in November. It follows our two main characters, Simran and Rajan. They're from different family dynamics. Simran's kind of like good child who does everything that her parents say, follows all the rules, gets good grades, is really invested in her future. And then she interacts with Rajan, who has recently been released from juvie, is like in gang-related activities. They connect through a tutoring, mentoring program. It is a YA novel, but it reads so much like an adult novel, which is one of the things that I talked to Jasmine about. I was able to meet her and get this book signed. She drew a little crown and called me a queen. I mean, how can I get better than that? I really recommend this book. If you are looking for a YA that reads like an adult, I think that this is a book that has a lot of layers about children of immigrants, gang politics. I think that this book totally could have like a series where you follow our main characters into adulthood. You know, I'm not telling Jasmine what to do. Those are just my thoughts. Highly recommend this book. So this is not a book I purchased at BookCon, but a book that I brought with me and got signed at BookCon. These are the only 3 books that I came home with on Saturday from the first day of con, but I did get some other goodies, so let me go ahead and show those to you. The first thing that I bought is this Dungeon Crawler Carl blind mystery pin. I actually met Matt Dinneman on the street on Sunday, and I took a picture with him. This was the second time I met him because I was able to meet him and get my book signed at Comic-Con, which is why I wasn't as gutted when I couldn't get into his panel on Saturday. I had to get a little DCC treat. So that was the first thing that I got. Another beautiful thing about BookCon is there are many people trading like little trinkets and stickers and bookmarks. What's Mitchie reading? And she gave me this tarot, and my card reads As a Small Town, which is fair because I love a small town romance. So yeah, just the stickers, the cutie pie things. There was a lot of cutie pie things. I'm a big fan of the cutie pie club, so I was all about the trinkets. I did get this beautiful tote as a freebie from Saga, and there's a quote on it from The Lion Woman of Tehran, which is one of my favorite books by Marjan Kamali. When I am surrounded by books, I feel most at peace. I had to snack. I didn't bring this book with me to BookCon, but I did go to the Christina Lauren Romance Revival panel hosted by Gallery. There were 100 readers that were chosen for this after they filled out a form, and I got chosen, and I was able to go and talk to other readers and who've read the book. Christina and Lauren hosted just a Q&A about the book, which was really interesting. I didn't finish the book. I still have about 150 pages left. But I didn't get it spoiled for me, honestly. There wasn't like that much to be spoiled. I already knew the concept of what was happening. And this comes out in July, on July 14th. It's definitely a differentiation from the Paradise Problem, which is what this cover gives. It is not like the Paradise Problem. It's a little bit more of a STEM romance. Our main character, our female character, works in STEM. It's very interesting. I'm really liking it so far. But I was able to snag a book plate, which I will then put in my book. My husband got me this Sprite bookmark, Studio Ghibli. And from Shannon V Jewelry, who's based in Little Rock, Arkansas, I bought this elastic bookmark that is handmade from polymer clay. There was such a beautiful selection. Honestly, it was hard for me to choose. This was like the first thing that I bought at BookCon. And I figured I can also use this on my journal and my Hobonichi. So I wish I got two, but I started off with one, and I have Shannon's Instagram, which I will also link here so that you guys can check her stuff out as well. And then I got some freebies through the publishers. There were some codes for Hannon Witten's new book that comes out in August, The Shadows That Listen that comes out also in August, Hopeless Necromantic that comes out in June, and A Kiss of Crimson Ash that comes out in May. I picked up this Killer Listen sticker from PRH Audio. And the last chapter, which is a romance bookstore based in Chicago, had such cute freebies. They had this little sticker, then they had this bookmark. I got a bunch of stuff where I'm like, oh, I'm totally going to junk journal this, which I hope I do. But honestly, TBD. And then this one says the last chapter, and it has this little like reading log on the back, which is really cute. And then I did some of these pictures from Bookfinity. You were able to take like little selfies and get them printed. So I did that. And the last little freebie I have is from my girl, Haley at Bookmore Travels. She made these cute little Brooklyn and Manhattan bookstore maps. And if you're interested in them, you can go ahead and check her out. I also got this little reading log, and I'm forever just an emo kid at heart from Steffi Doms. I loved the freebie situation. It was so nice to get trinkets and book cards and all of the fun things. I don't really feel like I got that much on Saturday, to be honest. I was mainly focused on like the signings. I definitely wanted to meet Justine. I went to a horror panel where I got to see Kylie Lee Baker, Bethany Morrow, Chuck Tingle, and Tananarive Dew. I really enjoyed that panel. So my focus was on those things on Saturday. I really wasn't browsing and shopping around. But on Sunday is a different story. So let's put these things away so that we can talk about Sunday, and I can show you all the things that I got on Sunday. Sunday was a little bit more of a splurgy day. I think on Sunday I just had more time to browse. So let me show you what I got. The star of the show at BookCon, if you haven't seen on Threads, is LaCroix or LaCroix. I say LaCroix. Is that annoying? They were giving out these amazing tote bags, and they're so big and perfect for summer, and they're really good quality. So I'm a fan, but it stored all of the books that I got. I picked up Cemetery Boys at the end of Sunday. Well, let me start at the beginning. So Sunday was a gloomier day. It was cold. It was rainy. It was gloomy. It was dreary. I kind of didn't want to go, as I know many people didn't go, but I was meeting my girl Marie Lou, and I could not let that happen. So me and my copy of Red City trekked our way to the city from Long Island so that we could meet our girl Marie. And we picked up some books along the way after picking up this LaCroix bag. LaCroix. I'm going with LaCroix. I'm going to show you what I got. It's not going to be in any particular order. I did get to make a book charm at Zippy Publishing. That is just the cutest. It says, stories are best when shared. And you got to pick out these adorable charms and a little tassel. I picked an orange, a white strawberry, and a mermaid tail. So I made that. I also picked up another tote from Simon & Schuster. It was a freebie. A quote by Neil Schusterman. Hope in the shadow of fear is the world's most powerful motivator. I got some samples from Velvet Hammer. Velvet Hammer makes fantastical blends for everyday stories. We believe that taking care of ourselves should feel good, not cause added stress, less pressure, loads of science, and of course, magic. So I got 2 samples. I got Elixir of Serenity, which is a dark cherry flavor with subtle sweetness. And I got Elixir of Inner Light, which is a hint of blood orange, citrusy, tangy, with a hint of sweetness. And this will brighten the broodiest day and uplift the senses. So this one's more of like a daytime, starting your day mood booster. Elixir of Serenity is more of a wind down mocktail. I got that adorable sticker from Oddment and Tweak. And then these are the books that I picked up. I believe these are all the books that I picked up, so I'm just going to run them down. I got Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. I got Immortal Dark. At the end of the day, a lot of the publishers were doing 50% off or BOGO on their books, so I snagged up what I knew I was interested in. I got The Swan's Daughter, beautiful edition. I also got 4 books signed while I was there. I was able to meet Ball. I've read Ball's series. I've read Collide and Spiral, but I haven't read Revolve yet. So I got this signed by her and I was able to meet her. And it was so nice to finally put a face to the name. And then I also got 2 indie books in Indie Alley. After Glow by Ruby Rana. This is part of a series, the Ottawa series. Ruby signed it. Other indie book that I got was The Unnamed by M.S. Masood. This book is so beautiful. The edges are gorgeous, and M.S. Masood and her husband were there, and her husband was scribing your name in Arabic on a bookmark, which was so cool. And this book is so pretty. This hardcover is gorgeous. I heard really good things about it. The back says, a cursed heir, her gifted enemy, their deal that changes everything. And I'm so excited to read this. And then the last book in here is my signed copy, and I'm so grateful for it. I was just so excited to meet her and tell her how much I loved Ari and Sam's story. I can't wait for book 2, and I'm just so excited. I was able to visit the BookBo booth. I had never bought a BookBo before until I got this one on pre-order from the BookCon merch website before the con, and it's so cute. I was so astonished by the quality. So after getting that one, I picked this one up at the booth in person, which can hold a hardcover. And then I also got this beautiful tote that says, read a book, in the little like thank you grocery bag font, and it's zippered. This was the last one left. I picked it up on Sunday right before I walked out of the con. So that's what I got from BookBo. And then I also visited Probably Smut, which I've never visited before. So let me show you what I got. Burn the Patriarchy, Not Books, as we should. And then the second t-shirt I picked up has a little peach reading a book. Of course, my camera died while we were in the middle of filming, but I'm determined to get this BookCon haul up. Probably Smut. I've never shopped with them. They are a Bookish subscription box that does special editions. I know that their most recent one that has been pretty popular is B.K. Borison's And Now Back to You, which was beautiful. And they did have for sale, but I didn't grab that. I grabbed A Blind Date with a Book. The first thing that I got was this little like backpack that came with a sticker purchase. I bought a sticker and I got a sticker free. Friends to Lovers. It was like a little Polaroid, which was really cute. And this one that says, read whatever you want, as you should. As you should. And then I got the motel keychain that says, good listener. I thought that was cute. I'm an audiobook listener. I got A Blind Date with a Book that has 4 chili peppers, which seems like a lot, so TBD. I don't know what it will be, so we can find out together one day, but not today. That's what I bought from Probably Smut. It was nice to see their stuff in person, as it was with a lot of the bookish vendors. It just felt like nice to know what you're purchasing IRL and like know the quality and all of that. So I'm really happy with the stuff that I bought. As you can tell, I spent a little bit more on Sunday than I did on Saturday. I just had more time to browse around. I was really happy with my experience overall. I think that I would definitely go back. If you went to BookCon, I would love to hear your thoughts and what you may have experienced, and might be different from what I may have experienced, obviously. But, all in all, I hope that you had a good time if you did go. And if you didn't go, hopefully this will give you some insight as to whether or not BookCon is for you. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.